What's up, guys? Laura from Africa, aka Rogan Osron, back at you with another video. And in today's video, I want to talk about why men are scared of women. Guys, men are frankly just tired of being rejected daily. Men have put their best foot forward only to be crushed by the opposition of the opposite sex. Whenever men try to do their best, they're constantly met with shaming, told that they're not good enough. I mean, if you're going through years of rejection as a man, you're going to find yourself just feeling like you're not worth anything and just useless most of your time in your life nowadays. I look back to an early age of my life and I just wondered why so many older people just would tell younger guys, when I was around like 12, 13, they would be like, oh, if you see a girl you like her, just ask her out, get her some flowers, some chocolates. And this is exactly what has contributed to the failure of the dating market. You see, whenever you start putting women's egos up on a just pedestal, you create the very dating market we have today. Why do you think we have so many men that are incels? Why do you think we have so many men that are feeling lost in life? I know men that I talk to, a few of them that I've met at my job to where I work, right? Some of these men are scared to even just look at a woman's direction because they're afraid, oh, she's going to lie on me. She's going to say, oh, I tried to do this to her. I'm harassing her by staring at her. And then you have these women who get online like these just delusional and just autistic, just TikTok girls and YouTubers who say they wonder why they can't get a man in their life. I mean, if you're just blaming men of objectifying all women, saying all men just saying that we just view women as just pleasure objects, I mean, good luck with finding a man who's going to deal with your nonsense because, quite frankly, it's the other way around nowadays. If you look at the majority of men nowadays, most guys don't even just bother to even be in a woman's presence unless they're working around them. Like, it's seriously insane to how America is basically becoming and basically is really the Japan 2.0 of this generation of millennials and just Gen Zers. I mean, you think about how the years have progressed, how the dating market has gotten worse to when you could just use a simple dating app for an example. It could be like Bumble or Meet Me, to where you would think that these would be social apps to where you can actually build actual authentic and communicative relationships possibly online, you know, and be able to socialize and connect with different people, you see. But see, here's the thing. Dating apps have just completely just overwhelmed and made the dating market a more lonely and sadder place. The reason why these apps were introduced in the first place were to just separate men and women further. If women have pictures of all types of men from different walks of life, different races, etc., you don't think they're not going to pick the best looking men when in female nature and women's biology, basically, that's what they're geared towards to. The first sign of knowing that it's over for you as a guy is you've been told as a just young man that by women you are a good guy, but you'll be good for someone else. Or if a woman is flat out just rejected you and said you're a loser, I could never see myself with you. See, these are the things that really cripples men's confidence for when it comes to getting women. And a lot of these women are just ass backwards. They just can't understand this. You look at the majority of women's lives nowadays, they're mostly just talking about themselves. They're talking about their career. They're talking about a lot of stuff that men don't care about to deal with. Your career as a woman isn't going to make you attractive to a guy like that. And I don't understand why most women cannot see this. But this just goes to show that women adhere to sweet lies and delusions as always. Even from when I grew up to when you can just tell that your dating life is going to be a horror show. And you don't even have to be that bad of enough looking guy. You could be a totally normal looking guy or somewhat decent looking, and you'll still get flat out rejected because that's just how skewed the dating market is. I remember when I was younger, I had a friend of mine who was at the water tower with me when I was around like 14, 15 over here in Michigan. We went to the water tower over here. We used to walk around and go get the little freaking just strawberry smoothies, man. And he would just drink all of them or whatever. And we go right into the just water tower because it was this big store, right? Where it was like a waterfall in the middle to where it had stores everywhere. So we're walking in there, and keep in mind, my friend is about 2 or 3 years older than me. I think he's like, yeah, 16 or 17 at the time. And we see these groups of girls, right? And, it was even a black pill just event for me because just by the fact you're associated with another male friend of yours and they go up to some women and they see you with them, you are going to get into just bad end of the stick as well. It's brutal out here. Even back then in the earlier 2000s points, to where it was beginning to where women became more just darker with female nature. But back to the story, we went into the water tower. We were on the third or fourth floor, and we saw these four groups of girls, right? It was four of these girls in a group, and there was this real light skinned girl, as you know, in the black community, a lot of light skinned women are a preference, for most men, and then brown skin and dark skin. It's like in a little colors row. But yeah, my friend went up to go talk to the light skinned one, and I said, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" And what does this tell you? Even from a young age, I was kind of aware of you don't approach women, especially as a stranger who hasn't been looked at or noticed by a woman. They're not even trying to peek out and smile at you or do anything, and you're just going up to them. You're asking to get rejected brutally. So he goes up to this girl, and at first, it seemed like they were having a cool conversation for the first 5 minutes. And then it was like when he started to ask for a number, it was like, time just stopped. And, it was like death was in the room, guys. That's just how serious this was. And when she said, "Sure, you can have my number," I thought, wow, I guess it really worked for him. And then you could check this out. After she said, "Sure, you can have my number," she basically told him, "You can have my number in another age." And you should have seen the look on, my friend's face when he got told this. It was brutal for him. Even though he was like 2 or 3 years older than me, it could just shows you that no matter what age you are, rejection still will can affect you and will affect you just mentally and scar you for the rest of your life. And basically, what she meant by another age was, we had the whole ice age doing history, right, and just global warming in the past. So basically, she's saying when the next ice age happens, that's when he can get her number. And that was just very brutal because, as you guys know, ice age isn't happening, for a while now, and just pretty brutal rejection. And then, what got even more brutal is when they saw me, and when I was about, 14, right? I had my ears were still like out, because some people's ears, they don't go in until they're a little bit older. And I had like these little elf looking ears, right? So, yeah, my ears weren't always inward, right? And, these girls saw me. And then my cousin said, "Wait, what about my friend?" And when he said, "Wait, what about my friend right here? Does the other girl like him?" My heart literally sunk, and I just felt something horrible was gonna happen. And this girl basically said, "No, I don't want to talk to this boy with these rat ears." And yeah, that's the type of stuff you get told when you're not as an attractive man, when you're deemed as unattractive by women. That's basically what you get told, you know. And, I wasn't even that bad looking at a young age. And imagine what men like you guys who watch this channel were going through as sub 5 men. You're probably getting tortured like during a Vietnam camp. Like some of the women I've met and dealt with back in my unconscious blue pill days, These women would make you feel like you were being tortured in a boot camp in Bell Rock somewhere in Germany during the war, with the Soviet Union. That's how bad it was. And after that, I just felt humiliated. I felt torn inside and just all the emotions you could think, right? Because you're thinking, because your feelings are developing at that age for the opposite sex, right? You want to start talking to girls a little bit more, getting to know them. And when you get told that your ears look like rat ears, that this girl doesn't want to talk to you, I mean, imagine what that's going to do to your self esteem. From then on there, my self esteem when it came to dating, pretty much, generally speaking, was lowered by that incident. I mean, so many men go through countless heartbreaks, countless times of thinking about just ending it all because some void just broke their heart just dramatically when they could have just told him, "Hey, I'm not interested in you. I don't like you like that," which is still brutal, but it's like you're still letting the guy off in a nice way. But what you will get with the modern woman nowadays is they will start telling you how big your forehead is, how broke you are, how little your wee wee is. They'll start talking about your mother, start talking about how you should have been swallowed. These are all the evil and just sick and sickening things that modern women will say to you when they don't find you attractive. And it's disgusting. And you wonder why men don't want to deal with women now? Men are tired of being traumatized, like the story I just told you guys. Imagine what that does to your self esteem. And then from the years on outwards, you start to meet more women who just want to torture you for fun and send you one word replies and laugh about it. So you tell me if you think as a man you're going to be more confident and listen to red pill dating coaches. Basically around 19 to 20 years old, I was done, with the whole entertaining the whole dating market in the West, especially because it's a dark place for men. And that's why I think, just honestly speaking, a lot of these red pill dating coaches, these men who teach game and still think that you can get a woman with charisma, it should be a crime. Most of these men should be locked up because they're basically just signing men up for lifelong trauma emotionally to where you're not even going to be able to concentrate at work. You're not going to be able to look yourself in the mirror as a man and feel just completely whole when your spirit and just mind is being broken down from all the just darkness you've went through with women. So it really should be a crime. And what you can really learn from these situations of just men being just scared of women from the things I just told you, you have to look at our society nowadays is just geared towards making the man the enemy because society as a whole knows that, it really can't function or have unity when men or women are against each other. A certain secret society, right? Or I should say multiple secret societies and the government along with them know when people are united, especially men and women, they can do great things together, but we no longer live in that type of era to where there's any type of semblance of unity, even though it was kind of like fleeting in the past as well between men and women. But when your heart is constantly broke over again and again and again, you're going to find yourself even scared to just be in the presence of a woman or just talk to them. And just being honest with you guys, sometimes I even get anxiety to when I'm chatting with these women, like some of these two videos I just clipped for you guys to listen to how these modern women just interact and view dating. Sometimes I get nervous talking to them because it's like, okay, what is she going to do? Like, what is she going to grab out? Like, what is she going to say? Because I told you this stuff, it scars you for the rest of your life. And then you have your just boomer and ignorant parents telling you to keep trying and trying. Basically, they're telling you to keep putting your hand inside of spikes, just keep slamming it down on spikes until there's just holes all in your hand and, someone will patch it up for you. That's basically the advice that your parents give you. So you can keep getting rejected again and again and just being just a doormat for women to walk on. And this is exactly why you have the society today, to why so many men are just afraid to have anything with women, or even just try to date or look their way. The trauma, the nonstop gaslighting, the ghosting, the false promises, all of this is poisoning to just your mind in general. And you'll find yourself not being able to work correctly. You won't even be able to drive correctly sometimes in the street. You'll be just gazing and just daydreaming, thinking about all the just sad times you went through in your dating life, how it's been a nightmare, you know. And when you think about it, this type of dating market is basically if Fallout and Silent Hill had a baby. I kid you not. That's exactly what dating is like in the modern era for men. And this is an exact reason why men are scared of women nowadays. And the dating market is never going to be the same until some type of worldwide reset happens, to where everyone gets memory wiped or something from all the trauma and darkness that has been just known for centuries, that men have been just afflicted with when it comes to dealing with the opposite sex. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me what you want me to elaborate on in the comment sections. I'll appreciate it. Keep it clean, chill, logical. But I'll see you guys in the next video. And like I always tell you guys, stay away from the modern woman. Thank you.